Thanks so much. Everyone all right? It is such a genuine joy to be able to listen to everyone, not only the quality of the poems, but the way that you support each other and lift each other up. That is not something you get everywhere. So thank you for letting me be part of that. There's been a few different languages spoken tonight. I'm going to throw another one in the mix. I studied maths at university, and while I was there, I was given the chance to do a year abroad in Germany, and so I tried to learn German because I'd heard that it was very popular there. And as a poet and a mathematician, I love the German language because in many ways it is very logical. You can just kind of stick words together to make new words, but you can also be very creative with that. For example, the German word for hand is Hande. The German word for shoe is Schuhe. And the German word for glove is not Glover. The German word for glove is Handschuhe because it's a bit like a shoe you put on your hand. And I would say to my German housemates, this is amazing, you guys have got hand shoes. And they would say, yes, we know what gloves are. Why are you so excited about gloves? Do you not have gloves in England? But for me, it turned learning a language into this sort of fun, exciting thing. One of my favorite words in German, I found out the German word for a tortoise is a Schildkröte, which translates as a shield toad. I sort of imagine it to be the Captain America of the amphibian world. And when I found this out, I looked up what a snail was in German. I really hoped it would be called a sort of shield worm or something like this. It turns out the German word for snail is just Schnecke. Can everyone say Schnecke? It's fun enough. But what's even more fun is the German word for snail is Schnecke, and the German word for slug is Nacktschnecke, which translates as a naked snail, which I think is adorable. And so I used to try and invent some of my own words while I was in Germany. And where I lived in Germany, there was lots of incredible food, and there was an amazing Turkish place that did very good falafel. And the German word for falafel is Falafel, whereas the German word for spoon is Löffel. So if you had a very specific spoon that you only ever used to eat your falafel with, then this spoon in German would be called a Falafel Löffel. So I wrote this poem. It's called Falafel Löffel, and it's about a guy called Phil who just really loves falafel. It starts off in German. I'll translate as I go. There's a chance of some audience participation. I have no doubt you'll be excellent. It is entirely in German, which made a lot more sense in Germany, but is a lot more fun to do not in Germany. So we'll give it a go. This is Falafel Löffel. Phil ist voll. Die Nacht ist gut verlaufen. Phil sieht ein Geschäft und fragt, was sie verkaufen, which means Phil is full. The night has gone well. Phil sees a shop and he asks what they sell. Falafel Löffel. Falafel Falafel. Which means falafel spoons. For spoonfuls of falafel, was Falafel Löffel? Falafel Falafel, wie Falafel Löffel? Falafel Falafel. Now, Phil doesn't speak German, so he's left a little baffled. See, there is this fella, Phil. And Phil loved falafel. In a falafel raffle, he would snaffle all the tickets. He always answers in affirmative to offers of falafel, even if he's awful if he didn't. And for us, it might feel effortless to live a life falafel-less. But Phil effervesces as he gets his falafel fix. So if Phil was ever to be offered Löffel of falafel, he said yes, despite not knowing what the effer Löffel is. Fulfill a life of love and laughter, will have a falafel after. So it's yes, despite not knowing what the effer Löffel is of a falafel Löffel. Falafel awful. So it's yes, despite not knowing what the falafel is. A fluffy falafel is often iffy if he's honest. So it's yes, despite not knowing what the falafel is. If half a Löffel of flippy falafel is, if he leave it, even as if he's left a message for his kids saying yes, despite not knowing what the falafel is. Always yes, despite not knowing what the falafel is. So when I say, wie viel falafel ist zu viel falafel, which of course means how much falafel is too much falafel, could you reply in unison, in your best German accents, 4 Löffel Falafel ist zu viel Falafel. Which of course means 4 spoonfuls of falafel is too much falafel. Just my own sort of personal limit, but I am trying to spread the word. I'll talk you through it. If you repeat after me, 4 Löffel Falafel ist zu viel Falafel. Wunderbar. Wie viel Falafel ist zu viel Falafel? 4 Löffel Falafel ist zu viel Falafel. Wie viel Falafel ist zu viel Falafel? Okay, it's not bad, but it's not excellent. I think we can do better. I've got 2 tips just to take this to the next level. Tip number 1, if you can, try and sound a bit more German, okay? Whatever that means to you. When I lived there, they won the Football World Cup. It was incredible. It was euphoric. We partied all night, and it was all cleaned up by 9 a.m. the next day. The way we're going to do that, I'm going to ask you if you're ready. Instead of replying yes, I want you to shout back to me the German word for yes, which is ja, okay? And we're going to ride that energy to the end of the poem. The second thing you can do is what I used to do in my German language classes, which is where if I was ever asked a question by the person up the front, and I was not entirely sure what the answer was to that question, I would just repeat the question back to them with enough conviction that hopefully they would move on. I was going for a sort of ça va vibe. So if you just want to repeat what I say, it's a bit easier. We'll give it a go. Are you ready? Ja. Are you ready? Ja. Wie viel Falafel ist zu viel Falafel? Wie viel Falafel ist zu viel? Lauter, wie viel Falafel ist zu viel Falafel? Wie viel Falafel ist zu viel? Schneller, wie viel Falafel ist zu viel Falafel? Wie viel Falafel ist zu viel Falafel? 4 Löffel Falafel is zu viel Falafel. If it left him on his deathbed with a message for his kids saying yes, despite not knowing what the Löffel is, always yes, despite not knowing what the Löffel is. Viel war voll. Die Nacht war gut verlaufen. Phil sah ein Geschäft und fragte, ob sie verkaufen. Falafel Löffel. Falafel Falafel. Falafel Löffel. Falafel, yeah, falafel. Falafel. You've got to make an effort when you travel.